I want to show you why it's important to work with the asteroids because otherwise you're missing out on so many deeper connections. So we have a full moon eclipse tomorrow, and the sun is in Pisces right now. It's currently next to North Node and Neptune. Neptune, they're both actually at 29 degrees, which signifies the end of a karmic cycle. Neptune can be really magical and healing, or it can be really delusional, especially in Pisces. So think about the rose-colored glasses that you've worn for years. Are you going to finally take them off and see what you're meant to be seeing, or are you going to keep them on and keep deluding yourself into seeing what you want to see? This is important because Nessus, the asteroid of ancestral trauma, and where we have the capacity to alchemize that, is right next to Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. It's about learning our lessons and integrating boundaries based on those lessons, which in Pisces is desperately needed because Pisces is all water energy. It's boundaryless. It is connection to the divine, and it's also deep spiritual empathy, vulnerability. But we know that sometimes we can bleed energy into people who ultimately poison us. So are we really working from our trauma, or are we working to alchemize that trauma? What lessons have you experienced around overgiving? We have Psyche, the asteroid of body, spirit, and mind, next to Venus, who is retrograde. Venus is about love and beauty, but she's very much about values. So revising, revisiting your values. Mercury is in Aries, so communication, mindset is in a little bit of a headbutting phase. We can see this online with everybody. Isis is about collecting the lost parts of self and putting them back together to come into this new identity, which serves so much with everything that's going on. We've got the moon over here in Virgo, and Virgo is the earth priestess. She brings that spiritual connection from Pisces into the body, into the earth, and serves from that. We also have Algol here with Uranus. Uranus energy is past life trauma that we carry into this life. Algol is the demon star. It represents either losing our heads or leaning into our shamanic capacity. And Magdalene she represents the suffering and compassion. Sedna is about letting go of old betrayals by family. So that fits in very nicely with Nessus and that alchemization of trauma. The other big thing I really want you to see here, see this is karma. See this? This is Pluto. They are directly across from one another. So Pluto is that death through transformation energy, and karma is exactly what it sounds like. Are they sitting outside of my home and my Nessus? Yes, yes. My moon? Yes. We also have Medusa, sister wounds, taking the masks off, forcing people to see the truth, next to the asteroid of truth, in the next to the asteroid of relationships and marriage. In Sagittarius, the sign of truth and liberation, we have Elpis and Cloelia. That is hope and emancipation in Capricorn. So being released from like the toxic masculinity, being released from old structures, old narratives, the old ways of doing things. That's just a little insight. But look at all that energy moving through Pisces, moving through Aries. So we have a full moon eclipse. Tomorrow we're going to have a solar eclipse with a new moon in about 2 weeks. And that all of this really signifies that we are closing out old cycles, especially within Aries Libra, which is the relationship axis. So we are closing that out for good, and we are entering into this whole new identity. If you choose, if you do that work, if you do the work of learning your lessons and implementing boundaries based on family trauma.